power system in One Piece is one of the most unique and innovative you'll find in anime. Instead of a complicated energy force that you struggle to wrap your head around or some quirky magic, what you get is a fancy-looking fruit that gives its eater incredible powers and a bad taste in the mouth. It's called a devil fruit, but you already know that, don't you? And it comes with a Faustian deal. Those who eat it and inherit its powers automatically lose the ability to swim and survive in water. Devil fruits aren't that complicated. There are just 3 categories: Paramecia, Logia, and Zoan. Paramecias are the most common type and give their users an endless variety of abilities. Logia fruits are rare and their users gain the ability to create, manipulate, and transform into some sort of natural element. Zoans create human-animal hybrids. Devil fruit powers vary wildly. Some are more basic than others, like the ability to make your target turn into stone or to turn your own body into sand. Well, we're talking basic by One Piece standards, of course. Others are simply crazy. Imagine gaining the ability to grow countless limbs on your body, or being able to manipulate stone to the extent that you can turn an entire country into a part of yourself. Within this insane variety, there are some devil fruit powers that are best described as overpowered. They give their owners such godlike powers, it's no wonder how anyone can stand up to them. That brings us to the subject of today's video, which is the top 10 overpowered devil fruit powers in One Piece. Let's take a look at them. Kicking off this list is the string fruit, eaten by Don Quixote do Flamingo. When it comes to Doffy, his devil fruit power is one of the last things about him that strikes you. That's because he's such an intriguing character even without it. There's the way he looks, his evil grin, and his raspy voice. There are multiple personalities that he's cultivated: a fallen noble turned pirate, a ruthless underworld arms dealer, a slave driver, and the man who thinks nothing of killing his own brother. There's his haki prowess, which makes him one of the biggest threats around. You might be forgiven if you think the string fruit's powers aren't that special, but take a closer look and you'll find it's a deadly power. It gives Doffy the ability to create an unlimited number of tiny, razor-sharp strings that he can manipulate at will. These harmless-looking strings can slice buildings in half, create a cage large enough to enclose an entire country, turn people into puppets, and even repair the user's internal organs. Imbuing the string with haki makes them even more deadly. It's a power truly worthy of its wielder.
Moshi moshi. 今だこのよせ。もしもし。
Blinding us at number 9 is the power of Admiral Kizaru's Glint Fruit. The Admiral might not look much like a threat, but he has the most powerful and versatile devil fruit power among the marine higher-ups, which makes him a Class A hazard and the only human capable of riding a cannonball. The Glint Fruit blesses Kizaru with the powers to create, control, and transform into light, turning him into a light human. This means he can travel at the speed of light, making him almost unstoppable. With his power of light, Kizaru can shoot high-speed, high-precision laser beams from his fingertips and feet. These lasers have the same piercing effects as bullets shot from a gun. Additionally, he can blind his opponents with his light or create weapons of light, such as a sword, to fight them. It's no wonder then that he gave the Straw Hat such a hard time before the skip.
青い炎。いきなりキングは
I think we all know why this makes the list. A power to continuously regenerate is pretty overpowered, isn't it? Especially if you're in a battle shonen series. Not to mention how cool it looks in its fully transformed form. This is one of the 5 mythical Zoan we've seen in the One Piece canon. Marco's control over his transformation seems to be one of the greatest among other Zoan users shown so far. It allows him to transform into a legendary phoenix, granting him the ability to fly and control phoenix fire, which doesn't just heal him, but can be used to heal others' wounds too. One of the reasons why it doesn't get higher is because offensively, it's not as useful as some of the other devil fruits on this list. Coming in at number 7 is the Pawpaw Fruit. Don't be deceived by how adorable it sounds, or by the fact that it gives its user soft pink padded paws and leaves cute paw imprints whenever it's used. Behind its unassuming name, this devil fruit holds one of the most mysterious powers ever seen. It allows Bartholomew Kuma, its user, to deflect anything, from enemy attacks to people and even ghosts, and send them flying at the speed of light. It endows him with great speed and the ability to compress air and turn it into a massive explosion. He can even push out the pain in a person's body, put it inside an air bubble, and transfer that pain into another's body. Perhaps because of his gentle nature, Kuma doesn't always use his devil fruit powers to hurt others. When he sends the Straw Hats flying in different directions, all of them arrive safe and sound at their destinations despite having traveled in his air bubble for 3 days and 3 nights.
さらばだ。2000万ボルト。
The Rumble Fruit allows its eater to create, control, and turn into lightning, move at lightning speed, and send 200 million volt lightning bolts crashing down on its opponents. That's not all. The user can also create, control, and transform into electricity, merge with and manipulate metal, hear electrical sound waves many miles away, and even jumpstart their own heart with a jolt of electricity. Touching a person with the power of the Rumble Fruit means being fried with hundreds of thousands of volts of electricity. It's no wonder that its user Enel has the nickname God attached to his name. It's just his bad luck that he happened to run into the one person capable of withstanding his electrifying personality, a certain Rubber Man. By a minor character's account, the Rumble Fruit is the most powerful of the rare Logia fruits.
Oi, 動けないんだ、子供。このベタベタの液を早く取って。
At the halfway mark now, we have a sinister power in the hands of a 10-year-old. Like the Pawpaw Fruit, the Hobby Fruit has a harmless, even cheerful ring to its name, but it holds a power so terrible, it's capable of enslaving an entire population. The Devil Fruit gives its users the power to turn people into toys with just a touch, control their every movement, erase others' memories of them while tragically allowing them to retain their own. It also gives the person who eats it the gift of eternal youth, which is why Sugar, a member of the Don Quixote family and the owner of the Hobby Fruit, hasn't aged a day in 12 years. What makes this fruit even more sinister is the fact that Sugar uses its powers to help Doffy create a huge underworld in Dressrosa that runs on the backs of slaves whilst presenting an outward picture of a prosperous and peaceful country. Despite being overpowered, the Hobby Fruit has one big weakness, which we won't be revealing. Suffice to say, it's the reason why Usopp becomes God Usopp in one of the most unusual power-ups in shonen anime. Number 4, the Dark Fruit.
ゴムゴムのジェットクローズ
It's time to go Z-ha-ha-ha, because the next entry on the list is the despicable Blackbeard's terrifying power of the Dark Fruit. The power of darkness in this fruit gives its users the ability to manipulate darkness. This manifests in the form of a black hole or void that swallows everything in its wake, be it a person or an entire city, though it doesn't necessarily destroy them in the process. When Blackbeard wields it, the black hole also spits out what it swallowed. The Yonko is able to pull his opponents into the dark abyss with a mysterious gravitational force. But the most frightening power of the Dark Fruit is that it can nullify all other Devil Fruit powers, provided Blackbeard is in physical contact with their users. The history behind this Devil Fruit is just as menacing as its abilities. Blackbeard acquired the fruit by killing a crewmate who had found it first. The Dark Fruit was also instrumental in the capture of Ace and, subsequently, one of the most important developments in the One Piece story. Truly dark stuff, this one.
Loom. Tacto.
In the third spot is the HeartShaped Opit Fruit, which is as bizarre as it is powerful. It gives its user Trafalgar Law divine surgical skills and the ability to cure incurable diseases, earning him the nickname Surgeon of Death. But it's how the power works that makes it so absurdly wonderful. With it, Law can create a spherical space he calls a room, within which he can control the placement of any object or person using a force pretty much like teleportation. In the room, Law can dismember people without hurting them, switch their hearts and their personalities, and switch himself with them or with an object. Oh, and he can turn them back to how they were as well, if he's in the mood. Despite being a serious-looking guy, Law's known to use his powers in deviously funny ways. Look at the way he cut Kinemon up into tiny pieces, stacked the pieces up any which way, even attaching his legs to his back. On a more serious note though, the Opit Fruit allows its users to give another person eternal life at the cost of the user's own life. It's definitely a godlike power. Taking the runner-up spot is the Tremor Fruit, which according to Admiral Sengoku holds the power to destroy the world. And that's no exaggeration. It's considered the strongest of the Paramecia fruits and a rival to the strongest Logia fruits. The person who consumes this devil fruit can cause huge cracks in the air with just a punch. These cracks in turn create large shock waves, which bring about earthquakes and tsunamis that can destroy entire islands. The user can also flip large objects and places on their head. An extremely frightening way to use this power is by holding one's enemy by their head and concentrating the vibrations around it, defeating the opponent instantly. In the hands of Whitebeard, the world's strongest man, the Tremor Fruit was never used for evil. Rather, we can safely assume that its powers were used to protect many nations and countries from more ruthless pirates. And let's not forget, it gave the Marines a massive fright in the Battle of Marineford. Unfortunately, the fruit was stolen rather deviously by Blackbeard, and we can only wonder how he'll use its tremendous powers to further his evil plan.
One Piece wa実在する!
It's time to unveil our top pick now, and the honor goes to Big Mom's SoulSoul Fruit, which puts a horrifying spin on the old Halloween tradition of trick or treat. The power of the SoulSoul Fruit makes its user a manipulator of souls. As such, Big Mom can extract the soul of a person or a part of it and transfer it into an inanimate object, bringing it to life. That explains her army of talking trees, flowers, animals, furnitures, and cakes. They might look cute, but like Sugar's toys, they're far from innocent beings. The soul extraction means the person who parts with a portion of their soul loses some part of their lifespan as well. When Big Mom's being unreasonable, it might even come down to parting with one's life. The fruit also allows the Yonko to use portions of her soul to create humanoid creatures called incarnations that go about collecting people's souls on her behalf. However, there's a condition that must be fulfilled for the SoulSoul's fruit to work, which is that the target must be afraid of the user. Given Big Mom's insatiable hunger pangs and the destruction she's capable of at times, this isn't a difficult ask at all. And that's it. The top 10 overpowered devil fruit powers in one piece. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Press like if you did. You can also subscribe to my channel ViniiTube for more anime and One Piece content. The comment field is open to you as well, so don't hesitate to write in and tell me about your favorite devil fruit powers or anything else you'd like to share. I'll see you soon with a new video. Till then, stay safe.